It was a stormy night when Sarah heard the whispers. The wind howled outside her window, but the voices seemed to come from within the walls of her own house. It felt as if something was watching her, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Sarah, a paranormal investigator, had always been drawn to the unexplained, but this case was different. Her connection to the past was personal. The house once belonged to her late grandmother, who had whispered of dark rituals and vengeful spirits. Days passed, strange occurrences escalated. Objects moved on their own, chilling drafts swept through the house, and the whispers grew louder. Sarah began to uncover unsettling truths about her grandmother's past, rituals that summoned spirits seeking revenge. One night, the atmosphere thickened with dread as Sarah confronted the spirit. A dark figure with hollow eyes filled with rage. The air crackled with tension as she realized she had awakened something far more powerful than she knew. In a final desperate attempt, Sarah recited a counter-ritual, but the entity's furious screams filled the air, echoing with a promise of vengeance. As the house shook, she realized some spirits never rest, and the horror would linger long after she left.